This is Rugby Merlin and welcome back to the channel. This is my review of Wales versus South Africa. So the intros are crazy, great renditions of the national anthems, but before the match even starts, you've got Sia Khaleesi singing in the tunnel. He's got quite an aura on him, and he's got to be a little bit intimidating to the other players, but loads of changes for both teams, and that's plays into South Africa's hands a little bit, I think, because they have such a great squad, and that's not by accident. That's through hard work and Rasi bringing players through. But there we are. It seems like a game Wales really didn't need at the end of the season, but it's going to cap off South Africa's kind of tour of the northern hemisphere. So the game starts pretty well. It's back and forth early on. You got to say Dyer on the Welsh wing is very, very quick. Well, he looks it anyway on the pitch, and he's definitely lacking in a bit of confidence as the game would go on. He had a few opportunities that he really should have grasped with two hands, and he could take a little bit of a lesson from Colby there. Razi, they show him in the box quite a few times, and he looks more and more like he's getting into his mastermind, brainiac kind of arc, and he just looks like the madman in the box. But you can't fault him actually. Visa and Wainwright, that was a good battle early on. Wainwright obviously targeted Visa and vice versa. It's a good contest actually in the first like 5-10 minutes, and you're looking forward to the rest of the game. Wales defence is going pretty well, but as a Welsh fan, I'm really thinking that someone needs to smash a South African, and gain a dominant tackle, but it doesn't really happen, and that's why we miss Jack Morgan a little bit, because he does give you the opportunity to do that. South Africa, they get a lot of front foot ball, and basically it's inevitable, and the Steenkamp gets over. He's done well since he's come into the squad last year, and it's 7-0 to South Africa. South Africa go blind then, I think, off a scrum again, and first phase possession, but they make the most of it, and the big guy on the wing, Hooker, who looks like an absolute unit, he gets over, and he looks very pacey as well. For South Africa's second try, and that's like 2 tries down now in 15 minutes, so it's not looking good for Wales. So the scrum is causing Wales a lot of trouble, and we're going to Channel 1, which puts a lot of pressure on Wainwright. If you don't know what Channel 1 is, it's the hooker kicks it or hooks it directly back to the number 8's feet, and the number 8 usually picks up because it's so quick. But Wales is trying everything to kind of not nullify, but to survive this kind of set piece onslaught from South Africa. But it's absolutely everything is South Africa at this point. Again, it's good work from Visa, carrying the ball hard, and he was a candidate for man of the match. But in the tight, Wales just can't compete. The South Africans are too strong, too committed, and I think the committed part is very significant, because like physically you can be bigger than somebody else, but if your commitment is there, then you're able to compete. But the Wales just weren't, they didn't have it. So it's like all South Africa really needed to do is keep it tight, and they do get another try. And Wales, they're struggling at this point. I think it's 21-0. So the kind of last 10 minutes of the first half, South Africa really like attacking Wales, but I got to be honest. At this point, the Welsh defence is kind of holding up. They under like a lot of punishment, and I will say like Rio Dyer again. He's one of our like best attacking players, but he just doesn't have the confidence. Like at one point, the ball pops up to him in midfield, and he doesn't go for it. Like he passes the ball back like 10, 15 meters. And yeah, that's a confidence issue, I'm sure. But the Bucks get their fourth try just before half time, and a great half for them, and they will be absolutely ecstatic with that first half performance. So the second half kicks off, and I'm sure that Rassi has instilled in the boys that this is an international test, and they need to make the most of it. And it's more of the same really from them. Just like very strong play, very strong carries, like good game management in all. And Plumtree then, because Wales are under a lot of pressure, he gets a yellow card. And again, I'm not a fan. If you've watched my other videos, you'll understand what I mean. But I'm not a fan of these like cumulative yellow cards that they give to teams, because it unbalances the game. Wales were already struggling, and now they're down to 14 men. So it makes it less of a spectacle for the audience when it's not really necessary to send the player off, right? But that's no excuse, obviously. But it's just a general trend that I see and I dislike. So obviously it goes from bad to worse for Wales, and we just keep like piling up points against us. I have about 3 mini strokes when I'm watching the game, shouting at the screen. You know what it's like. We've all been there, right? And one like I don't know if the Box fans appreciate this. I think you do, if you've been watching all your life, because South Africa have been up and down, but you go for any glimmer of hope, and you're like, oh, that was an epic play. So Moody gets a try disallowed for the grounding, but number 20, I don't even know who it was. I should research it really, but number 20 for Wales, he tracks back wherever he was, and he kind of puts a hand in and like stops what was an absolutely certain try. But there's little things like that for us now that we have to cling on to. But the South Africa just like well and truly pulling away. And I will say, I got here, English commentators, please, let's ban all English commentators from commentating on South African and Welsh international rugby games. Can we agree on that? Yes. Okay, I got you. All right. So Esterhuizen scores, and he's by far and away really the man of the match. I think he was fantastic carrying the ball up in midfield. He's a very powerful man, and he gets a try, well-deserved try. Wainwright he's on a bit of a kind of a pirate arc. His eye is absolutely wrecked, and he goes off and then comes back on, and then the Karens in the TMO. That's what it's like. The Karens. They're like, oh yeah, your shoelace is untied. Go off. So it like Wainwright comes on. You know what I mean? He can't even see. He's blinded, and then he gets like yellow card, and he's like, what is going on? But it's one of those days for Wales. Nothing goes right for them, but. It's the physicality, I think, which took Wales out. They couldn't match the South Africans. So they do cut to like one of the boxes, and I think it's like Welsh fans in the box, in the corporate box, and people are smiling and dancing, waving for the camera, and I'm like, my heart is breaking here. You know what I mean? It's like that is the problem really with Welsh rugby, is like they have no kind of empathy, or they can't relate to the normal person who watches the game. The price is so high, I could go on a massive rant about this, but to me that summed it up. I mean, for some people it was a nice day out. For me, it was absolutely heartbreaking to see Wales get smashed and ultimately nilled at home. And I actually wrote in my notes before it happened, all we can hope for now is a punch up. If you don't know, and I'm sure in South Africa it was the same, that was an old school way of like settling the score. Like if you're 40 points down, right, okay, at least we can try and beat them in a fight. You know what I mean? And that kind of happened. And Eben and Alex Mann, I thought, played his guts out. And like, no surprise, he's from my town in my valley in Wales. And him and Eben get into it. Fair play to him. And Eben goes for the standing gouge, which is very unusual. Like back in the day, gouging used to be like a big issue, but it used to be like in the tight, you know what I mean? Like if your arms are pinned or something like that, and then they'd gouge your eye. But Eben goes for the new version, which is the standing gouge, which was kind of crazy. He gets a red card. I hope he doesn't get like too badly punished for that, because obviously it's a rush of blood to the head. But for me, honestly, I love that stuff. At least Wales, you know, they show they had a bit of fire left in their belly, at least, after getting absolutely annihilated. And that's what it was. It was annihilation. And congratulations to South Africa. You know, unbeaten, undefeated on this Northern Hemisphere tour, and nobody can take anything away from you. You went up and down. You had like men sent off, and you know, yeah. So what can you say for Wales? You know, we have to rethink, but I'll still go with Tandy. I don't care. Welshman coaching Wales, I'm all for it. And yeah, tough times, but congratulations to South Africa. But they deserve it. They're a great team. I won't say team. They're a great squad, you know, and they proved that today, 100%. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye bye.